by the numbers.
At Standridge Auto Parts in Shelby, you'll find a variety of domestic and foreign used auto and truck parts. They can even ship your part right to your front door. Shop their eBay store with over 10,000 parts and ask about their Interstate Battery Special for just $45 with your exchange. That's right, only $45 with your exchange. Visit the website for more information at StandridgeAuto.com. Standridge Auto Parts, 1521 Sulphur Springs Road in Shelby, serving this area since 1972.
Warm temperatures continue today. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies with high temperatures in the lower to middle 70s. Overnight tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Some patchy fog develops overnight tonight and to early Thursday morning. It stays mild tonight with lows in the lower 60s. And then Thursday, we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies, and it's another warm day with highs in the low to mid 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big Old Country Studios, it's 4:01.
What's that howling?
Nothing to be afraid of. This is Coyote Tractor Country, mister. That howling just means somebody's bought another hard-working Coyote tractor.
If you're in the market for a hard-working, affordable 20 to 90 horsepower compact tractor, test drive a Coyote today.
You heard the man. Now get going. You're burning daylight, mister. Visit www.kioti.com.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
Feeling a little hungry? Stop into Hefner's Superette at 1410 East Church Street, Cherryville for breakfast or lunch. On the grill is Harvey. With his experience, he can cook you up a Philly cheesesteak sandwich or a delicious Lotta burger done right. Hefner's Superette carry gasoline and grocery items too. Store is open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9. The grill is open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8:15 p.m. for delicious food even Grandma will love. Stop today, Hefner's Superette, 1410 East Church Street, Cherryville. Gasoline, grocery, and everything you need. Phone 704-435-3334 for takeout orders.
Oh, what a day it is here at WCSL 1590 AM. It's the best in sports here with your host, Tim Johnson, and Mr. Baseball himself, Kenny Lee. Kenny, it's the 21st day of February. You know what that means? Baseball is right around the corner, my friend.
And we no doubt have baseball weather this past week. We're in the 70s. I think we touched 80 one day. It's a little bit crazy, but that's okay with me. We had a little bit of cold weather, so now we got some warm weather.
Ken, I broke out the suntan lotion, Ken. I'm working on my tan. I'm getting it ready for the summertime. So, my wife says that I need a whole lot of help when it comes to looks. I don't know why.
Well, we on radio, so at least she hasn't made you put on any makeup. But if anybody's watching online on YouTube, check him out. I don't see that suntan yet, but he might have one before too long.
Kenny, we are going to start this power-packed hour of nothing but the very best sports in our local area as well as our regional area and, of course, nationally area. And we're going to jump on some NASCAR news out there. Your Daytona 500 winner, Austin Dillon, wins his second sprint race of his career, of his young career, that is. So,
and the Daytona 500, obviously, for the first time winner, the Super Bowl of car racing, the first race of the year.
You got that right.
And Dillon, in a last lap, it was actually in overtime. They had a big wreck with 2 laps to go, and they had to line up and do what they call a white checkered finish. And on that last lap, they was jockeying for position. One car spun out. And the next thing you know, here come Dillon with Bubba Wallace, Darrell Wallace. He goes by Bubba Jr. behind him, and he wins it. And he is the grandson of Richard Childers. And Richard Childers had a number 3 car that won it 20 years ago, Tim. And legendary Dale Earnhardt won that thing 20 years ago on this past weekend. Driving for Richard Childers, and now his grandson in that number 3 won Sunday.
Absolutely. What a great honor it is to have your family member, especially like you said, his grandson is his daughter's son, Austin Dillon, that is, of Richard Childers. Congratulations to Childers Racing. Like you said, he was the longtime owner of Dale Earnhardt's car, and, of course, Dale Earnhardt, to me, he's the greatest race car driver ever was.
To a lot of folks.
Oh, yes.
And everybody knows. If you go, I tell you what, you go about anywhere in this country, but in other places in the world,
Dale Earnhardt country.
And you pitching car racing, people know who Dale Earnhardt is.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
I remember the day you died, Ken. It was so sad. It broke my heart. It broke the racing world news. It was like Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley, when he passed away, it was big in this area because, he was from the South. When Earnhardt, it's like, oh, my God, it's like the world stopped. You know what I'm saying? So, but, yeah, he did so much for NASCAR racing. But, yes, congratulations, Richard Childers and all the Childers Racing.
Yeah, and got a lot of good young drivers up there competing. And now we said there's a lot of wrecks, a lot of the known drivers by name, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson went out early.
Those guys went out. Another guy had a great year last year. Chase Elliott went out. Truex went out. A lot of wrecks. But when it all cleared, we had another guy up there who finished second, Darrell Wallace Jr. He goes by Bubba. He was driving another legendary car number 43.
The STP car. How about that? Richard Petty.
The Richard Petty number. And it was the highest finish ever in the Daytona 500 by Afro-American driver.
I saw the interview on ESPN about him, Ken.
He is very emotional.
Oh, yes, very emotional. But what a great young man he is, and what a great he's great for this sport.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Think about it.
He is.
Wendell Scott is the only other African-American that I could think of that's ever raced in NASCAR.
And I'm old enough to remember back in the old days when Wendell, he used to come into pits and get out and help the pit crew. And I remember, I think it was one of the World 600s, and it's had a lot of wrecks, and I think it was only 10 or 12 cars finished. And I think Wendell finished in the top 10 just because of attrition. Everybody else was gone. I think he finished like 9th or 10th and got some real money that day.
So, in other words, he's probably in the back of the pack and everybody walked out the front. So he just worked his way up.
But he finished the race.
How about that?
He finished in the money.
How about that? Yeah, Wendell Scott.
Congratulations to Bubba Wallace, who's made it to this point and got his name really out there where people know who he is. And he was very emotional in the after race interview. In fact, it was funny. His mom was up there hugging him going on. He said, "My gosh, Mom, you act like I won the race." She said, "As far as I'm concerned, you
did." That's right, yeah.
But
he conquered something no one's ever conquered. So congratulations to him. You know, when it comes to African American racing, you know, racing's known forever for, you know, the good old boys back in the South. You know, deep South,
the redneck, boys, and it's good for racing.
It is.
Another, I guess, trend center, you might say, that finished her last race in NASCAR was Danica Patrick.
Yes.
Who, unfortunately, Tim, finished like she did in a lot of races. She got caught up in a wreck and didn't finish.
Well, you know.
But that's her last NASCAR race.
Yeah, you know, she's dating. You know who she's dating now.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely. Mr. Football. Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. So she's got a more famous boyfriend now than Newhouse, who was her boyfriend in NASCAR, but everybody knows who Aaron Rodgers is.
I watched her down at Daytona, Ken. There was a video on YouTube. It showed her walking on the beach doing a handstand. I bet she walked from here to the other side of the road here at KTC Broadcasting. On her hands.
Really?
Yeah, she's strong. I mean, you got to think about all them drivers. I mean, people don't realize Mark Martin back years ago brought the physical fit to racing.
He did.
And
he raced a long.
Yes, he did.
He raced until a pretty deep age.
50s.
Well, around 50 when he retired?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And he was a great ambassador, too, of racing, as well. But, yeah, I saw her walk in on her hands all the way across the beach on the sand. I thought that was impressive.
Well, it's impressive that she, as a female, did as much as she's done in racing from the Indy type cars to NASCAR. So she's done a lot and put her name on out there where people. She's a household name as far as people know who she is.
I agree with you too. So congratulations to the Daytona 500 winner this year, Austin Dillon. He wins his second Sprint Race Cup and the biggest one of his career so far, Kenny. So
absolutely. And once you, they say, once you win the Daytona 500. Your life changes forever.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, Ken, we're going to turn things over to our local area, high school basketball. Last night, yourself and I was at Lincolnton High School where the Lincolnton Wolves took on the Maiden Blue Devils in the first round of the state playoffs. And I tell you, Ken, Lincolnton could never get it going from outside, inside. They eventually picked it up, looked like toward the end of the third period to the fourth period, but they couldn't get it going.
They had a tough shooting night, Tim. They started out in the first quarter and only scored 6 points, and that was on 2 3-pointers. It was 16-6 at the end of the first quarter, and they just fought an uphill battle after that. They seemed to miss some shots that normally you'd think they'd hit inside, and finally, and they got close enough. I think they were down 7 at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, they started pressing, trying to pick up the tempo a little bit, and eventually tied that ball game up, and it went back and forth a couple of times. But I don't think they ever got the lead. And they were down 2 whenever Cordell Littlejohn was fouled with 17 seconds left. He hit the first end of the 1-and-1 to cut it to 1, but missed the second one. Maiden got the rebound. Lincoln had the foul, and Maiden just was tough on the foul line, hit all the free throws, ended up winning that game 57-52, which eliminated Lincoln's 1918 season.
Yeah, I mean, I hate that for the seniors there, for Cordell Littlejohn, Robbie Cowie, and, of course, Skylar Evans as well. And, you know, and Tyshawn Harris, who played great the whole entire year. I mean, we nicknamed him the human highlight reel. But I tell you, Ken, you know, Maiden, their coach, man, I'm really impressed with Danny Anderson as the head coach. I knew he was good at West Caldwell. Had the bigger school, had more athletes, more kids coming in. But man, he's really did Maiden really well there. So
yeah,
he's going to be a force to reckon with.
He had them playing well,
and
Lincoln had the height advantage, but it didn't seem to matter. I think Maiden
they had outside shooting, Kenny.
Yeah, they could shoot outside, and Maiden hung with Lincoln on the boards, and I think probably out rebound. No, they were out rebound the first half. It wasn't even close, but. Maiden played well, and they did shoot well from outside, and they were tough on that foul line too, Tim.
And one thing I noticed about Maiden, Ken, that I told you at halftime, I said, Ken, look at the stats here, look at the score here. Everything's real balanced.
Yes.
They didn't have any player over 17, 15 points. Everybody was like 10, 12, 11, 9, 8. Everybody was balanced. So they got a lot of production from a lot of the guys on the team. It wasn't that one person stood out like maybe a Chris Robinson did for Lincoln, who had 28 points. He basically carried Lincoln himself on offense and played great on defense too. Robbie just had a little bit of an off night. Could never get it going.
Cordell Littlejohn had an off shooting night. And like you said, it was Robinson.
That's your 3 top dogs right there.
Well, I mean, look at how many points Lincoln scored. They scored 52, and Robinson had 28 of them. He had over half of them.
So I mean, you can't. You're not going to win a lot of ball games like that. You're going to have more balance on your offense, and for some reason, Lincoln just did not have that last night. When they played Maiden High School,
and they will finish the season, Tim, with a 21-6 record. They had a very successful year. Unfortunately, it ended in the first round of the playoffs.
And speaking of success, Ken, we could talk about last Friday night at East Lincoln in Lincoln.
Let's talk about Lincoln. Last Friday night,
great basketball game.
Tim and I had the opportunity to call on WLON the Lincoln East Lincoln tournament championship game. And it was a heck of a game, Tim. Back and forth, and finally Lincoln won the game by 2 points. It was as good a game you ever want to see.
Absolutely. And I mean, speaking of balance, Lincoln had that balance that night.
They had the 3 scorers: Robinson, Littlejohn, and Cowie,
Yep.
and they scored well, and it makes a difference when they do that.
And here's the thing: is Lincoln better than East Lincoln? No, I don't think so.
I think East Lincoln has overall
complete all the way.
And see, that broke a 15-game winning streak that East Lincoln had coming into that game.
It did. It sure did.
And Newton Conover. Girls, Tim, we saw the last part of that game, and Lincoln Conover girls just completely dominated Lake Norman Charter, 54-28. Now, Tim, those were 2 seeds that were not the highest seed in the conference. The highest seeds in the conference was Lincoln and Maiden, and they weren't there. They got beat in the conference tournament.
Yeah, and the Lincoln girls got beat last night, too, by Madison County. And I tell you, some of the nicest people, Ken, the lady sat right in front of us doing a video and stuff like that. Super nice lady from Madison County. And they were, real low seed, 25, something like that?
25th seed coming in. And they upset the Lincoln girls, who were the 11th seed coming in. And they won that game, Tim. It wasn't that close. It was about 8 or 10 point, and sometime more than that, game most of the game. And they ended up beating Lincoln 62-51, 11-point victory.
Ken, before we go to a commercial here on the KTC Broadcasting Best in Sports, go over the conference awards this year for the South Fort 2A Conference.
Yes, they announced the all-conference teams, but they also announced Players of the Year and Coach of the Year at that conference tournament. I want to quickly just go over the Player of the Year and Coach of the Year. On the boys' side, Sidney Dollar from East Lincoln won the Player of the Year, and Sidney's got another year left. He was a junior. And Coach of the Year on the boys' side was the coach of East Lincoln, John Hancock, in his first year back at East Lincoln. On the girls' side, Destiny Johnson of East Lincoln won the Player of the Year. And the girls' Coach of the Year was Jimmy Carr from Lincoln. So Lincoln County teams taking all the awards as far as Player of the Year and Coach of the Year in the South Fork 2A.
Well, congratulations to the players and to the coaches there for a great successful season. All the awards and stuff like that being given out to the boys and the girls this year in the South Fork 2A Conference season this year. All right, Kenny. Also, Southern Piedmont 1A Conference, Ken. Lake Norman Charter defeated Anson 51-36 and will host Madison in the second round. That's the girls. Is that correct, Ken?
Yeah, the girls in the South Fork 2A.
So they'll host Anson. The girls will. Lake Norman Charter.
And so that's a long trip, Tim, between the Madison and Lake Norman Charter.
And in the Southern Piedmont 1A Conference, in the Southern Piedmont 1A Conference, Best City defeated Piedmont Community Charter 56-52. They'll travel to play number 4 overall seed Avery County in the second round. In Lincoln Charter, Ken, they're still poured in on, Kenny.
Yeah, they had a first round bye, so they'll play first time in the state tournament tomorrow night as they host Union Academy.
All right, Kenny. Great news there on Lincoln County sports as well as our surrounding counties too. So we'll be right back after these small messages right here on KTC Broadcasting. You're listening to Kenny Link, Tim Johnson, the best in sports right here on WCSL 1590.
NASCAR racing right here on Big O Country, WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Let your ideas grow at the Southern Spring Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through 25th and March 2nd through 4th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. With hundreds of experts all under one roof, this is the place to find great deals, new ideas, and practical advice. See Vern Yip of TLC's Trading Spaces. Plus, explore thousands of square feet of landscaping and florals in Bellegarde Gardens. From kitchens and baths to landscaping and more. Don't miss the Southern Spring Home and Garden Show. Buy tickets online and save $2 at charlottespringhomeandgardenshow.com.
2018. That's the year for your new Polaris from Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Check out the 2018 Polaris Slingshot, track ready and street legal and priced at $28,999. And introducing the all-new Polaris Ranger XP 1000. It's more rugged, more refined, it's more Ranger. Trade in and trade up at Full Throttle Power Sports. Exit 22 off I-85 at 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
The winter rates and hours are now in effect at the Deerbrook Golf Course on Highway 180 North in Shelby. Play and ride Monday through Friday for just $33 or after 12 p.m. for just $28. Play and ride weekends for $42 or afternoons for $35. Seniors, you can play and ride Monday through Friday for just $28. Call for your tee time at 704-482-4653 or visit their website at DeerbrookGolfClub.com. The Deerbrook Golf Club, the friendly golf club.
See Renato Cadillac Buick GMC for some great deals right now. Get $9,000 in total savings on the new 2017 GMC Sierra 1500 truck. Lease the new 2017 Buick Enclave for only $199 a month. Take $9,130 in total savings on the new 2017 GMC Acadia. And check out the great selection of pre-owned vehicles. Drive and save at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. Online at RenatoBuickGMC.com.
Hey, this is Milton Baker. I was talking the other day with Wade at Trick One Collision Center in Lincoln about all the levels of auto repair, collision work, insurance work. Well, now, Wade was telling me about the detailing service. Expert auto detailing inside and out at Trick One. Water spot removal, headlamp reconditioning, scratch removal, 3-step paint restoration, all that and more. Far superior work than any drive-through car wash could do. Call them up, 704-736-9960. Call them today. Tell them Milton sent you.
All right, welcome back to WCSL 1590 AM station right here, part of KTC Broadcasting. You're listening to the best in sports right here today. On a Wednesday, we are live every Wednesday, so if you're tuning in out there riding around, tune that radio station on over here to you can listen to all your local sports as well as your collegiate and professional as well. Kenny East Lincoln Mustangs, they're going to be taking on Drone High School tomorrow night, and WLON will be there tomorrow night.
Yes, last night the East Lincoln Mustangs handled North Surrey quite easily. They won that game 83-60. East Lincoln's the number 3 seed, and they will be tomorrow night taking on the number 14 seed Drone, who comes in with a 22-6 record. Tim, they have a pretty good ball club, so this is not a just walk in and it'll be okay contest. East Lincoln got a battle, and we'll be there to bring it to everyone on WLON. Also tomorrow night on WOHS, Concord will be at Kings Mountain, so that game will be on there as the Kings Mountain won easily in their first round game. That's that second round of the game tomorrow night. So KTC Broadcasting will be bringing those broadcasts to you tomorrow night.
That's some exciting news there for all our listeners out there. If you don't want to go to the game, tune in right here to KTC Broadcasting. And
in the South Fork 2A, East Lincoln is playing Drone, but there's another team that's still left in the tournament and in the playoffs, and that's Maiden. And they'll have to travel to RS Central, Tim, a number 6 seed. So that'll be a tough contest for Maiden. But that's the other team in the boys that's still alive. As we mentioned before, the Lake Norman girls will be playing Madison and Tim. Unfortunately, that's the only South Fork 2A girls team that's left. But all Maiden, Newton Conover, and Lincoln all lost last night. So that'll be the girls' contest down at Lake Norman.
So we'll look forward to going out to East Lincoln tomorrow night as they take on Drone, the Wildcats. So that ought to be a great basketball game. And and we're going to be pulling awfully hard, Ken, for the East Lincoln Mustangs. We want them to go deep in the playoffs.
Yes, we will, and we'll be there to bring it to you. And if they win that game, Tim, I understand it'll be a Saturday night game, and we'll be bringing that to you as well if East Lincoln's playing there Saturday night.
It was good to see all the local celebrities last night, Ken, at the Lincoln High School Wolves. We're talking about Ronnie Carpenter. You know, Ronnie, without a doubt, Ken, one of our favorite people. He's also Lincoln's biggest celebrity, as I call him, Mr. Ronnie Carpenter. Also Scott Klunger, the ex-football coach there at Lincoln High School, the legend himself. Of course, Cole Sigmund, the baseball coach, and of course, David Bird last night. Get to see Brent Gates, and so and of course, our main man himself, our good friend, Mr. David Keever, Lincoln Times sports editor. So it's always good to see those wonderful people and love their support too here at KTC Broadcasting.
And Ronnie Carpenter, no doubt, one of the biggest Lincoln High School Wolves fan that you'll ever find. If they're having a basketball, baseball, or football game, Ronnie's going to be there. And if you don't see him, just stick around. You'll hear it.
You'll hear it. Hey, and here's the thing, Ken. If you want to know who Ronnie Carpenter is, just listen. But the thing about it is, go down to Ace Hardware in Lincoln, St. Ace Hardware, and say, where's Ronnie Carpenter at? And then when you go see him, say, Tim Johnson and Ken Link
there you go.
For the best of sports told us to come here and see you. So we want to see what you look like.
All right,
Great
Tim.
people.
Let's talk a little bit about college basketball now.
Man, it's my Wolfpack on. I tell you, Ken, what do you think?
Wolfpack won, what, 3 in a row?
I'm telling you, man, we're hot. Coach K, we got a new Coach K in town.
Yeah, that's right. You keep preaching that.
Love it, man.
Them Duke fans gonna get fired up. All right, let's go over the national standings first, and we'll get into the ACC in detail after that. And you look at the national standings, and guess what? There's an ACC team sitting on top. The Virginia Cavaliers still number 1 nationally this week, and number 2 is Michigan State. Number 3 is Villanova. Xavier's number 4, and the Duke Blue Devils are back to number 5 in the country, followed by Gonzaga, Texas Tech, Kansas, Purdue, and number 10, the UNC Tar Heels come in. Clemson is ranked 15 in the top 25, and Florida State coming in with the last team in the top 25 in the 25th spot.
So they got you Tar Heels back in the top 10, I see there, Kenny.
Well, they got themselves back in there by winning 5 straight, the hottest team in the league.
And your competitor, Duke, is number 5.
Yes.
So Clemson's 15, Florida State's 25. That rounds out the ACC, as you say. Virginia, of course, number 1, the best team in the nation as we speak of right now. And they're playing like that too, Ken. There's no doubt about it.
And in the ACC standings, Virginia's first. Duke is second with a 10-4 record. Virginia with 13-1. UNC is third with a 10-5 record. Clemson 9-5. And then
shout it out, Ken. Shout it out.
NC State Wolfpack coming in there at 5th spot with a 9-6 record. And Tim, I'll be honest with you, it's good to see 3 North Carolina teams, Duke, Carolina, and State, up in that top quarter of the ACC standings.
I just want to say one thing, Kenny. We are back. The pack is back, baby. It's all I got to say. That's all I want to say. We're back.
Well, and you're playing well. You got 19 wins, Tim. You're 19-9 on the season, and you're sniffing that 20th win, and you're probably going to get it pretty soon. I know you got 3 more ACC regular season games left, and they're pretty tough games, Tim, except for one at Georgia Tech. You got Louisville and Georgia Tech, and what else you got? You got Syracuse?
I see Syracuse. Yeah, Syracuse. They're in the ACC. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
lost. I'm sitting there looking at my phone. Somebody just texted me about the pack.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know who this person is, Ken, but I ain't gonna tell the phone number. But anyway, they text me all the time during our show and give me ideas and stuff. But anyway, it says Go Pack. This is what this person said. Go Pack have went 4 games, 4 versus the top 17 teams in the nation. Only UNC has beaten 4 top 17 teams. There you go. I don't know who you are out there, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning Tar
How about
Heels.
them Pack?
Tar Heels always beating good teams. But State is coming on. They're playing well, Tim, and it'll be interesting. There's some games tonight.
Good for basketball.
Now, State had a pretty easy win over Boston College last night. They're not playing tonight, but Duke is playing tonight. Louisville's got to go to Cameron. So Louisville and Duke tonight, that could be a pretty good game. By the way, Mike Bagley is not played for the last 3 games, and Coach K keeps saying, well, he's getting close, but he hadn't played, and I don't know whether he'll play tonight. So we'll see what it goes there. North Carolina is playing at Syracuse tonight. Be a tough game against that Syracuse zone, but I've got faith that the Tar Heels can do the job tonight. Virginia Tech is 6th in the league, followed by Louisville, both with 8-6 records. Florida State and Miami next with 8-7 records. Syracuse next with 7-7 record, and then you get to the bottom 5 teams with under 500. Boston College 6-9, Notre Dame 6-9, Georgia Tech 4-10, Wake Forest 3-12, and Pittsburgh bringing up the rear at 0-15.
Ken, I'm the biggest NC State fan around here. I like them in football and basketball. I pull for State even when they're down. I'm like that with my Cowboys, same way. But it's really good to see NC State, playing as well as they're playing. They're not a great team. They're a really good basketball team, and they're playing as a team. You have no superstars on that team, and Coach Keats has done a phenomenal job. We got to call him and get him on our show. So I'll work that out. I'll get him on our show. But anyway, when you got NC State, UNC, and, of course, Duke, and Wake Forest. I mean, Wake Forest, they had a good year, I think, last year or the year before.
Yeah, they're down this year. But I'd love to see all those 4 in the triangle area
Clemson,
be up there.
Clemson's
up there.
Absolutely.
So, I'm a Carolina fan, you know that, but I'm not an anti-NC State fan unless they're playing Carolina.
How about Duke?
I'm always against Duke. As I told you, if they would have played the Russians, I would have pulled for the Russians.
Let me ask you a question, Ken. If East Lincoln goes to the state championship game and say, for instance, it would be at Duke University, would you sit in the stands at Duke University?
Well, I'd sit there, but I wouldn't be friendly to any of the snobbish Duke folks there.
I tell you, you're one of a kind, Ken. There's no doubt about that. But, yeah, I'm happy for NC State. I really am. I'm tickled to death. We got a great coach. I think he's going to do great things for NC State. So there you have it, folks. That's your ACC standings, your college basketball standings as well.
Got what, week and a half till the regular season's over, and then you get into the ACC tournament.
Yeah, State have 5 games left a week ago, and I told you, I said, if they can go 3-2, possibly 4-1. 4-1. I mean, they're going to win. They're 19 games now. They're going to win 20 games. If they can win 21, what if they win out, Ken? What if they beat Louisville and Florida State?
Well, they're sniffing up there maybe with a pretty good seed. Maybe they can get a 4 seed. Who knows?
Maybe 6 or 7 seed.
Well, we'll see. Depends on how well they do in the tournament.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. That's the key. NC State's going to the NCAA tournament.
Oh,
I didn't know that till.
Well, I said that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
I thought they had enough team. I thought they would make it.
You sure did. So that's a good call on your part. Let's see what we got here. We got some. I tell you what, let's go to a commercial, Ken. Let's go, and then we'll come out with some NFL. What we got here? Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit of NFL football, and then we'll come out with some of our local products. And I see we got baseball, Major League Baseball as well, some college baseball too. A lot of our local products as well. So, Kenny, NFL Carolina Panthers news.
Yep.
The Panthers interim GM Marty Herney was hired today as the new GM.
So he's no longer
big deal.
Interim, and
he's the man.
He was just reinstated after being put on suspended on administrative leave. He was reinstated late last week, and it didn't take him long to make the decision to hire him as the full-time GM. No one said what kind of contract he's got, Tim. I'm guessing maybe 2 or 3 years. I won't be very long-term, I don't think, with the purchase of the Panthers pending. And speaking of the purchase of the Panthers, news came out early this week that David Tepper is the front runner to get the bid to buy the Panthers. And who is this David Tepper? Well, he currently owns 5% of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a minority owner there. But he's a hedge fund manager worth over $11 billion. He currently lives in Miami where his business ventures are located. So this is a guy, Tim, with some deep pockets.
$11 billion?
Yes.
That's a lot of money, Ken.
That's a lot of money.
What kind of business does he have? Do you know?
Yeah, he is a hedge fund manager. He basically deals in stocks and securities.
What is that? Stocks
and securities, and manage the funds that put together.
I didn't know if you went out and cut people's hedges or something like that.
I don't think he'd have got that rich doing that, Tim. I'm not saying that's a bad job.
Nah,
that's not a billionaire's job. I'll tell you that much.
I ain't throwing that there.
But he's got a lot of money, and he wouldn't have any problem at all buying and be the majority owner.
Gotcha.
In fact, he could buy the whole thing if he wanted to. And so they say that report came out of NFL.com. So it's a pretty legit report that he is the leading candidate. But who knows how long it's going to take? And of course, once they make a choice,
well, they're going to do this fast. If you know,
yeah, they want to try to get it done.
Absolutely,
they want to try to get it done.
Draft coming up.
Absolutely.
So, and here's another thing too, Ken. Even though Marty Hurney is the new GM now of the Carolina Panthers, if they get an owner,
he could change that.
He could change that.
Absolutely. Yeah. But they just needed somebody in place with the draft coming up now.
It sounds like to me that Jerry Richardson and the organization did Marty Hurney a favor, saying, hey, we're going to give you a 2-year, 3-year extension, whatever. We're going to make you the GM just because you've been part of this organization for a long time. You've been a good friend. That's what it sounds like to me. Then let things work out. If they keep you, they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he and Richardson always had a good relationship.
Yes.
So that's probably what happened. And a little bit more news. Report come out this week that Julius Peppard is said to be leaning toward playing one more season before he retires, which would be good news for the Panthers if he does and they re-sign him for one more year.
He was drafted by the Panthers out of Carolina. What a freak of an athlete. Great basketball player and, of course, football player too. So great news, Arkin. It's great stuff. Hey, coming up next here on the Best in Sports, we're going to talk about some of our local products who play in college baseball right now. One of them is Chandler Jenkins, and we're going to talk about it coming up right after these messages right here on the Best in Sports. You're listening to Ken Link and Tim Johnson right here on the Best in Sports of WCSL 1590 AM.
Car, home, back porch. It's the only one we listen to.
I listen to it all day long.
Big O Country, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com. It's time to get inspired and head to the Roundup store in Shelby and see the new selection of Larson Storm Doors. Yes, the Roundup store in Shelby is your Larson Storm Door dealer. Talk with Mike Trent about the door that's right for your home. Open your home to a brand new view and with a new Larson Storm Door. You'll be glad you did. Larson Storm Doors, now available at the Roundup store, Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at roundupshelby.com.
Here's what's up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL, and The Boss, WOHS and WLON. With your help, the American Cancer Society is fighting for every life threatened by every cancer in every community. Through your support of Relay for Life, your dollars contribute to research, education, and prevention, and more. Visit www.cancer.org for more details. The Lincoln County Department of Social Services will be offering the Low Income Energy Assistance Program. Call 704-732-0738 for more details. And that's What's Up. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL 1590 AM, and The Boss, WOHS 1390 AM, 101.5 FM, and WLON 1050 AM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
Why buy a new Honda from Ronaldo Honda in Shelby? There's plenty of reasons, like 0% financing, complimentary synthetic oil changes on any new car purchase for 3 years or 36,000 miles. Just a couple of reasons to buy from Ronaldo Honda in Shelby. They have a wide selection of new vehicles, from the Honda Civic to the CR-V to the HR-V. Also the Honda Accord and Honda Pilot. Whether you're looking for luxury, sport, utility, or economy, you'll find it in a new Honda from Ronaldo Honda. Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. Online at RonaldoHonda.com.
It's Rib Night Friday and Saturday nights at the Parkway House in Cherryville. Get a half rack of twin-sided ribs for just $9.95. Get a full rack of twin-sided ribs for just $13.95. And remember the Parkway House in Cherryville for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Again, it's Rib Night Friday and Saturday nights at the Parkway House, Highway 150 East in Cherryville.
You may not know this, but the best greens of the Carolinas are right here in Shelby and Cleveland County at the Riverbend YMCA Golf Course. People continue to rave about the condition of the greens. Russell Spangler has worked hard to make them tip-top shape for your round of golf. And course manager Phil Wallace invites you to come on by and play. Call for their special rates at 704-482-4286 or visit the website at riverbendymcagolf.com. Call for your tee time today.
Sheila's Sheds of Shelby and Cherryville has added a new additional location, now open in Lincoln at 2979 East Highway 27. That's 3 locations to serve you. Come by and see Sheila's Sheds for Old Hickory buildings, carports, and sheds. Visit your nearest location for big savings. Sheila's Sheds, 2104 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, 2261 Lincoln Highway in Cherryville, and now open at 2979 East Highway 27 in Lincoln. Call Sheila at 704-300-4254 for Sheila's Sheds of Shelby, Cherryville, and Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Cherryville Ironman Sports right here on Big O Country, WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Okay, we're back here on the Best in Sports Show here on WCSL 1590, Cherryville, North Carolina. We've been talking some football, some basketball, some NASCAR, and we're going to talk a little bit of that other smaller round ball sport, and that's baseball, one of my favorite sports, Tim.
I tell you, Ken, that's why we nickname you Mr. Baseball, because there's nobody better around in this area, Ken, to what you can provide for the radio
I don't know
station.
about that, but probably no one better that enjoys it more than I do, because I really love baseball. I love at all levels, and I certainly am a big lover of high school baseball and especially American Legion baseball.
Well, I'll put my money on you right now.
But first, let's talk a little bit about Major League Baseball, Tim. Spring training started with the pitcher-to-catcher reporting. They've been there about a week or so. But we had some big free agent signings this week that some guys had been out there and hadn't signed yet. J.D. Martinez signed with the Red Sox. He had been negotiating back and forth for a while. He finally signed a deal with the Red Sox. I think it's a 5-year deal. Eric Hobsner from the Athletics signed a deal with the San Diego Padres. So both of those have signed this week. Also learned, Tim, that Major League Baseball is instituted a new rule this season, and it has to do with trying to speed up the game. What they're doing is they're limiting mound visits during a game where you don't make a pitching change. For example, they limit it to 6, so you can only have 6 mound visits a game from a player, a coach, a manager, a pitching coach. 6 total during a game where you actually don't make a pitching change.
Wow.
So, the catcher
they're trying to speed the game up.
Yeah, so the catcher can't keep going back and out and forth, and then the shortstop coming in, that kind of thing. And that's a 9-inning game. If it goes into extra innings, they get one more added to it that they can use. So that's interesting.
They've tried everything.
Yeah,
in the
they've
book,
tried a lot of stuff.
It's for some reason it just it's hard to speed a game up. A baseball, it really is.
It is. And some of the catchers said, "Well, I guess we'll come up with." Managers said, "I guess we'll come up with some nonverbal stuff." You know?
Some signs or whatever. Yeah,
so, but
they're going to do something.
I thought that was interesting. I was looking through that and I picked that up and said, "Well, that's interesting." But it's all about trying to speed up the game.
It is. And I listen. A lot of people get bored when you go to baseball games. There's to the last few innings, especially if the game is close or if there's a lot of fireworks in the beginning of the game. But I can see that. But yeah, it's really hard to do that here in Major League Baseball.
But speaking of baseball, talk a little bit about some area guys that are playing college baseball, Tim, and some names that if you're familiar with high school baseball in this area, you will know the names. But a young man from Maiden Blue Devil, Caden O'Brien, he signed. He's going to UNC to play for the Tar Heels this year, Tim, and he's already getting some action. Over the weekend, he made his first appearance pitching a scoreless inning and striking out 2. And then Tuesday, he got a start, and he pitched very well. He went 4 1/3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 earned run, and struck out 7. So he's doing well.
Yeah, we West Lincoln High School, when my son played Alec and Addison, they faced the They faced him all during his high school career. I think Caden is a year young. He's a year older. It's a year younger than Addison. He's 2 years younger than Alec. I remember when he first came up, there was a lot of hype about him, and he lived up to the hype. He was a great pitcher for the Maiden Blue Devils, and awfully proud to see what he's doing there at Carolina.
He's a left-hander.
He's lefty.
And some of the comments the managers said about him, Tim, said he's a very hard worker.
Yes.
But they said during scrimmages, they knew he was being effective because the players kept coming back to the dugout and saying, "We can't pick the ball up." He's got a little bit of deceptive delivery. They said, "We can't pick it up. We can't pick it up."
Yeah, he does. He's got a little, like you said, the way he delivers the baseball. But that's the key to a pitcher. If you can hide the baseball as long as you can before you release the baseball. And he throws. He's got a kind of a
sort of over the top.
Yes.
And they said he got a pretty
he's downhill
and a pretty high leg kick. So it's probably one of those things where you can't really see it till after it gets
on you
because you can't see it with his legs and arms and stuff. It's hard to pick it up.
Right. And the thing about it, he's not very tall. He's like got 6'1", something like that, 6 foot. But the thing about it is he keeps the ball down in the count, keeps it low. Around the kneecaps, maybe even lower than that. I mean, he's really smart pitcher.
And they were saying, he got
both sides of
the 3 pitches. He probably
does. He's got a pretty decent curveball.
Yeah, and the fastball's about 86. It's not going to blow you away, but he's very effective.
He's effective.
He's very effective.
Yeah, so congratulations to Caden. I'm glad he's doing good. We'll keep you updated on Caden as well. Alec Burleson of East Lincoln High School talked to Chris Mathiel, the athletic director, who's also the head baseball coach there at East Lincoln. This is what he told me about Alec. He said he talked to Coach Godwin down at East Carolina, the head baseball coach there. He said Coach Godwin told him that Alec will probably be the first player in the history of East Carolina to be a Gold Glove winner at first base.
Well,
that's impressive.
And he's got playing time. They started their first series this weekend. And, Tim, he started in all 3 games and had hits, I think, in all 3 games. He DH'd, he's DHing, as you said, playing some first base. But in his first game, I think that he DH'd, he also came in and pitched for 2 innings and struck out 5, 2 scoreless innings. So
he's a player.
So they used him both ways a little bit, which is pretty impressive.
And the guy, Keith, told me, and listen to this, Ken, Keith told me that the guy that plays with him at first, but when Alex pitches or if he DHs, the guy at first base, he had 2 home runs this past weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he led off. He led off, I think, Friday, his first pitch, home run. And then Saturday, he hit a home run, Keith told me.
Well,
that's Keith Jenkins.
Well, I think they started out with 3 wins, so East Carolina started out really strong, got a good team down there. And
they play Campbell today, right now as we speak.
And the other young man that you just mentioned that's also on that team is Chandler Jenkins from West Lincoln.
Now, we're a little biased to Chandler. We know Chandler. I've known Chandler. Chandler is like my son. So Chandler and my son are best friends, and Chandler, he when he comes home, he pretty much stays with me and Alec and our family stuff from his home to our home. He's been part of our life forever, and so we're awfully proud of Chandler and what he has done, what he has accomplished. Now, you talk about a hard worker, Ken. There's nobody I've ever been around in baseball as hard as worker as Chandler Jenkins.
Yeah, you can tell that he just dedicated to it.
Yes,
and he plays hard.
Yes.
And what an unbelievable season he had at CBCC last year and won National Junior College Player of the Year, and deservingly so. And now he's going to East Carolina. I understand he got to start Sunday and hit the ball pretty well, even though he didn't have anything to show for it just because of bad luck.
Keith told me, his dad told me, he had 3 line drive rips. He said to him the first one, before he got out of the box, he said it took 3 steps, kid caught the baseball. So Chandler will be a starter, and he'll be a player at East Carolina this year. And don't be surprised if Chandler don't get drafted. If not this year, next year. He's that good.
He's got a great.
He does.
He's got a great bat, and that takes
great attitude too.
That takes you a long way. And like you say, he works hard. He's not there. Just going through the motion. He's going to work hard.
And I know Alec's going to go down and spend some time with him too. But they play. Guess who they play this weekend? Carolina. Yeah, well, they play. Keith is telling me
they're all 3 guys we just talked about. We may be talking about next week about what they did in that series.
Absolutely, they play. If I ain't mistaken, they play Carolina Friday night. Okay. They play at East Carolina, and then Saturday they go to Bull Durham Stadium. They play there, and then Sunday they play at Carolina.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
So congratulations to all, and also Matt. I want to talk more. Matt Bumgarner. I talked to Jeff the other day. Matt's at Tusculum. He's doing good. He hasn't had a lot of playing time, but from my understanding, like we talked about last week, Matt he got to come in and play a little bit the other day. So Matt will get his chance. I mean, he's getting himself acclimated to the program there at Tusculum. So we're excited for Matt. And Sam High, I know Sam's at Francis Marion. Don't have a lot of info on Sam. I need to try to get some. Also, Noah Aker, Danny Aker's grandson, don't have a lot. If anybody out there is listening, got any kind of info on Noah Aker, any of the Cherryville guys, we're going to try to find out. We'll try to call Scotty, the head coach of baseball at Cherryville, try to find a little bit of information about Scotty as well. Ken, I came across some news yesterday from Chad Urey. That's Brett Urey's father. Brett is a really good baseball player from West Lincoln High School. And I was telling you, Brett transferred from West Lincoln High School to East Rutherford. He's going to be playing for Coach Bobby Dale Reynolds. They're at East Rutherford. And that's big news. Yeah. He was the best baseball player West Lincoln had.
I know last year he didn't play Legion ball, and I saw him there as a fan, and there's a couple of folks talking to him, and I heard him say that, he wanted to play Legion ball next year. Well, he's going to get a little bit of start going to play for Bobby Dale Reynolds at East Rutherford, and I'm sure he'll come over and play Legion baseball after he plays with Bobby Dale. And Bobby Dale, outstanding coach. I look for only good things, positive things to happen for Brett Urey with Coach Reynolds there working with him.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. He's in the best hands he's ever been at. I tell you that right now when it comes to Reynolds. Reynolds will make him a better hitter, better player. He'll just make him better all the way around. And listen, he'll get him in school. I know Chad told me that Appalachian was supposed to come down and look at him. He's had a couple arm issues and stuff like that, Brett has. But he said he's hitting the ball well. So he's swinging the bat really well.
And we know he has great speed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Great young man, too. There's no doubt. Kenny? Let's just stay right here and finish out the show. Then we'll go to commercials at the end of our show.
Okay.
NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, we had this weekend, which was, same weekend as the 500, the Daytona 500, but the times didn't conflict with each other. So Saturday they had the dunk contest and the three-point shooting contest. Donovan Mitchell out of Utah, a 6'3" rookie shooting guard, won the dunk contest, Tim. Larry Nance Jr. finished runner-up. But Mitchell, who played at Louisville in the ACC, Tim, he's the leading candidate for NBA Rookie of the Year, despite being picked 13th overall in the draft. He's averaging 19.6 points a game, 3.5 assists, and 3.5 rebounds. Wait a minute, Tim. I thought Lonzo Ball was supposed to be the Rookie of the Year in the NBA. Didn't turn out that way, did it?
Well, I mean, he might be over somewhere else, but he's not going to be – he's not here in America. Maybe his dad's going to
But Lonzo Ball is not the leading candidate, and neither are the other 11 or 12 folks picked in front of this Donovan Mitchell, who came out of Louisville and was having a great year. Devin Booker out of Phoenix won the three-point shooting contest. As far as the game, which guess what, Tim – I have to admit, I didn't watch 1 minute of the game, the NBA All-Star game. But LeBron James teams won 148 to 145 over Steph Curry's. LeBron James was chosen most valuable player of the game.
Pretty good. Yeah, he's playing pretty good now. He's got some players around him. So can they make a run? Can they make a run at the boys from the West?
Well, we'll see.
Golden State's pretty good, Ken.
And the other thing I want to mention, Fergie tried to sing the national anthem, and that was
you said it.
Now, Tim, I can't sing, but I believe I could do better than that.
We'll be back right here on the Best in Sports after these messages.
You are the best station.
I love the station.
Big O Country, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 along with my co-host Old Dominion, who are now shoe consultants for Thomas Rhett.
Did you see the shoes he wore on the red carpet at the Grammys?
No.
He texted me right before the Grammys a picture of those shoes, and he said yay or nay.
That's Old Dominion this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Helton, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Start your engine! The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series comes to Atlanta.
Kevin Harvick leading them to the green flag, and it's waving here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
The Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500.
Kyle Larson now with a nose out in front of Brad Keselowski. Now a car out in front. Can he drop down and take the spot? Yes, he does.
Trouble in turn 2. Clint Boyer goes up and slaps the outside wall.
Catch the excitement of the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. Sunday, February 25th at 1 Eastern on PRN.
The Folds of Honor 500 on Carolina Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. The President's Day sale is underway at Renato Kia in Shelby, coming out for 0% financing for 75 months, plus 0 payments for 3 months. Yes, we did say 0. Offer good on the Kia Forte, Kia Optima, Kia Sorento, and Kia Sportage. Find out how you can drive away in a new 2017 Kia Soul for $99 a month, or a new 2017 Kia Forte for $99 a month. And take a test drive for NBA tickets. Come in for all the details. Renato Kia, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. Online at RenatoKia.com.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Grass cutting time is just around the corner. Time to head to East Gastonia Hardware in Gastonia and save big on a new Snapper riding mower. There's one that will fit your budget and your yard. Come see the selection before they're gone and trim it up with a new Red Max trimmer or blower. And don't forget about their lawnmower repair shop. Since 1954, East Gastonia Hardware has been serving this area. Get ready now at East Gastonia Hardware, 1906 East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia.
It's tax time at Oak Grove Auto Sales Service and Body Shop in Kings Mountain has your ride ready to go. Come in now and take a look at a 2008 Ford Focus with 4-speed automatic transmission, audio input jack for iPod, and 137,000 miles, priced to ride at $44.95. Or how about a 2011 Dodge Caliber Main Street with only 72,000 miles, Uconnect phone, iPod control, and navigation, $79.95. Financing available. Come in for all the details at Oak Grove Auto Sales Service and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road in Kings Mountain, online at oakgroveauto.com.
Cherryville American Legion Post 100 Baseball right here on Big O Country, WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia, online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Yeah, that's what we need to do, Ken. We need to get all those Duke Blue Devils fans to call in here and just get all over you, Ken. That's what we need.
Well, you set me up there. I'm going to have to quit talking about Duke.
We're going to wrap things up here at the Best in Sports here at WCSL 1590. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to us here on a Wednesday. It's the 21st of Wednesday, Ken.
Yeah, and we're speaking of the NBA, Tim, and next year that NBA All-Star game is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm sure, Mr. Hastings, Kevin, and Mr. Reinhardt.
Oh, they love that NBA.
I'm telling you, man.
They'll
be all over it, Ken.
Speaking of the Hornets, Tim, they've got a 24-33 record. Doesn't look like they got much of a chance of getting into playoffs. And they fired GM Rick Cho. And so they're looking for the new GM, and they're saying it looks like Mitch Kupchak is the leading candidate, which I think would be great to get him in there. He has proved he could do it with the Lakers, and I'd love to see Kupchak become part of the Hornets organization.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, he's a Carolina guy too.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely,
Kupchak, yep.
Absolutely.
Back in the glory days of the Carolina Boys.
Yes. Well, what do you mean back in?
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong there? I'm sorry.
I think last couple of years they have a little bit of glory going on.
Mitch Kupchak. So I'm sure that and Michael, he's got his roommate in there too, don't he?
Yeah, Buzz is in there, sort of, I guess, the assistant GM, but I don't think he'll get the main job. I think it'll be Mitch Kupchak.
Kenny, we were talking about high school baseball. It's wide open, Ken. It's wide open.
Yeah, practice has started. You could hear if you're out there, you could hear the crack and the pounding in the mitts as the folks are throwing the ball around as baseball season is going to get underway. And the high school guys, they'll be playing here in just a couple of weeks.
They will.
Maybe a week and a half or so. There was a few games started.
We are at Freddie Ford.
March the 2nd will be, so that's right now, tentatively
WLON.
what's set to be our first broadcast at on WLON and Lincoln County games. And so Tim and I are looking forward to doing that. As baseball fans, get ready. And basketball winds down. This warm weather, Tim, I think, is going to get people really want to get started baseball real quickly.
Yes, absolutely. And so we're going to be broadcasting, of course, all the Lincoln County, WLON Lincoln County schools as well as Cherryville, too. Milton Baker, Danny Aker.
Milton Baker, Danny Aker.
Hey, they're the best, man. I'm telling you.
The Cherryville schedule they'll be broadcasting on WCSL right here on 1590. And then following the high school season, we know that Legion games will gear up, and again, Danny and Milton will have the Cherryville Post 100 Legion games for sure, and I imagine on WLON we'll have some Lincoln County Cardinal games as well.
And I tell you something, Kim, what we're going to do this year on WLON, yourself and I, we're broadcasting all the WLON games in the Lincoln County High School baseball season. We got a few tricks up our sleeves and stuff like that. We're going to bring a new twist to baseball. I promise you that you listeners out there in Lincoln County is going to love to hear what me and Ken's going to bring to the table here on behalf of KTC Broadcasting and WLON high school baseball, Ken.
Yes. Just a moment before we get off the air, mention something about the Winter Olympics. Tim, big game tonight, U.S. women's hockey game for the gold medal, U.S. versus Canada.
Well, good luck to the ladies. I know the men's got beat there, Ken.
They did.
All righty.
And we enjoyed being with you today. And as we go leave here today, our thoughts go with the Billy Graham family who unfortunately passed away at a rich age of 99 today. What a great evangelist and what a great icon across the country.
I'll second that right now, Ken. Absolutely. All right, Ken, great show today. Great lineup. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You've been listening to Tim and Ken right here on The Best in Sports on WCSL 1590.
We're here from the start of your workday
on my way to work
till quitting time.
Big O Country, WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Let your ideas grow at the Southern Spring Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through 25th and March 2nd through 4th at the Park Expo and Conference.